Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra,
We're ladies.
and we tangent.
What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Today's a very exciting day. You know why?
No, I don't.
Because you don't know what today is?
Oh, you guys.
Sierra's with us now.
I'm here and I'm present and we're here.
And we're launching our Patreon.
Yay! Finally.
Yes. Oh, we are so excited
You guys.
to finally be able to tell you that you can go to Patreon.
To give you what you want. And
Yes.
we know it's what you want.
I know. This has been a long time coming.
Yes.
You guys have been talking about Patreon like since we first mentioned exclusives.
Yeah,
and
you're like, so on Patreon? And we're like, not yet.
yeah, no, but maybe someday.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's
Today's
someday.
that day.
So, we are in the process of uploading all of our past
Backlog.
content. So
Mhm.
any prior exclusive content will be on there for all tiers.
I was
We
going
have
to
3
say that's
different
for
tiers.
everyone, correct?
Yeah, everyone is going to be able to access all of our prior exclusives.
Mhm.
So if you go on there now, all of the audio's on there. I'm working on getting the video up. At this present time, they're not all up. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
I'm working on getting the other ones up. Videos just take obviously longer to upload than audio. But they'll all be there. And then this week, this Friday, new content. New content. So, yeah, check it out. There's 3 different tiers.
Do you want to explain them a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
So we have a $5 tier. That's going to be, you're going to get 1 exclusive video a month, and then you'll also get voting. I almost said voting rights.
We're going to give you voting rights. You are allowed to vote.
You are eligible to vote.
Yes.
But yeah, we're going to do like cool things. So maybe once a month or something, we're going to do.
Our Patreon picks our episode.
Yeah, you guys
topic.
get to pick.
Yeah.
It's in your hands. And what fun.
What fun.
So you guys will get that. The $10 tier then will get 2 episodes.
Yep. And audio and video is included. We didn't want it to be one or the other.
Yeah.
We know that some of you guys prefer audio and others prefer video. So we wanted to give you the option to have either one. So the $5 tier will have the audio and video for one of the exclusives. Tier 2 with the $10 and the $25 will both get the 2 episodes.
Yes.
Audio and video.
Yep. And then voting
Yep.
on the second one. Does that one have?
Discord.
There we go. I didn't want to say it because I forgot.
Yes. We are making a Discord group that we are going to be more active in. I know there's already a Discord group, but we're going to have one specifically for our patrons.
That like we are going to be present in
Yes.
more often than
Yep.
like if you want to talk to us, that's going to be where you can find us.
Yeah. Soon as Shane tells us how to use
As
it.
soon as we figure out what we're doing.
Yeah. And then also we're going to do monthly lives.
Yeah.
So you'll have access to
Woo!
that. We're either probably going to like pregame or postgame our recording session. So
Yes.
it's most likely going to be on a Friday unless we
you've-
have to mess around our schedule.
And we'll probably tell people beforehand.
Oh, yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
So that you guys
we'll
can
be posting
there.
it on Patreon to
Yeah.
give everyone a heads up. And unlike our
When we would
Facebook
do
and
it.
Instagram ones where we just randomly pop
sporadically, and people are like, "What the fuck is going on?"
on. Yeah, no, we'll
This
give
is
you a heads
fucking
up.
crazy. And it's always like when we do that, it's the most chaotic, like
Yes.
ADHD thing you've ever seen. So we're gonna bring that energy. Don't you worry.
Yeah. So we'll be able to do like live Q&As and things like that.
Yeah,
and
answering your
then-
questions.
And then for the $25 tier, you get everything that we listed for the $10 tier, but you will also be receiving a merch item every 3 months.
And
So-
heads up, I got a sneak peek of what you came up with
Yeah.
for this coming one, and it's pretty fucking cool. So
I designed the first. I'm thinking
Yeah,
that we're going to
these
do
are
2
like-
different designs.
these are like personally designed.
Yeah, I'm working on them because I have control issues, and also like I like it.
Yeah.
I like to do it, and I had this vision in my head, and instead
That's
of
fucking
like
cool.
asking someone, I just decided to try it. So it's going to be an exclusive Patreon only merch item.
Yep.
And it's going to say exclusive on it, and it's cool. I can't wait for you guys to see it. We're going to be uploading it soon.
Very excited.
So there's that.
Yeah.
We're overwhelmed by because some of you super sleuths.
You found it. We
You've
didn't
already
even tell
found
you.
it. Yeah. So thank you everyone who's already
Yes.
signed up and has been showing us so much love, and your support means the world to us.
That's
truly.
incredible. Even people who do this like for a living are like, wow, look at your fans. They are really going for it.
What the heck happened?
Yeah. And we're like, I know. They're little detectives and
Yeah.
they're just on it all the time.
Meanwhile, I was having a panic attack that no one was going to come to our birthday party because that's what it felt like. I
Yep.
was like, it feels like we just are throwing a party and no one's going to come.
And then they came too early.
Yep,
They
and I
showed
was
up
like-
and we weren't ready.
We had no pizza for anybody.
We're like, the balloons aren't blown up yet.
nope.
We haven't even gotten the cake.
No, I'm not dressed.
No. Still
So.
in my. I one time.
Have some mixed nuts, I guess.
I had a party one time and that happened to me. And like, if anybody knows me, I am somebody I'm a strict procrastinator.
I was going to say,
okay?
you are chronically late.
I am late to my own parties.
yeah.
So per usual, I was really pushing it to the deadline. And
Uh-huh.
I think I had just gotten out of the shower.
right?
And it was like 30 minutes till party time and people were showing up and I was like, I think it was for Noah's birthday. And it was the first time that I had people over at my house. Surprise. It was during COVID, but we didn't know about it
Yeah,
yet.
we didn't
had
know
no
about COVID
idea
yet.
about COVID. This was like before everything, like nobody knew.
Yeah.
And there were so many people packed into my tiny, tiny house.
And he definitely blew on the cake that we ate.
Yeah, and we all ate it.
Yeah.
But like Corey's family started showing up. They're like, "Hey, we're here," and I was like, "I am in my bra and underwear, and my hair is wet. Like, help me!"
Don't
And
you
Corey
guys
was
know
like,
that 5 means 5:30?
Yeah, please show up late like I'm going to.
Yeah.
So that's
Well.
what this kind of felt like. But you guys were so nice about it.
Yeah, thank you.
So much nicer than when his brother just barged in on me and was like, "Hey, CC, what's going on?" And I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, you were all very patient because there was nothing loaded initially, and I'm like slowly chipping away at the backlog, and you're all just like, "Take your time, no worries, we'll be here."
Love you.
Yeah,
God
So,
bless you.
thank you. It means
Yes.
the world to us. We're so excited to
Yeah.
be on Patreon and hang out with you guys in a
Yes.
more like intimate way, like hanging out with our
Oh
community
my
there
God,
too.
yeah, it feels like a little. It really does. It feels like
Mhm.
sub community even more.
Yep,
Like
fun.
all the fuckable bunnies or
Yes.
whatever.
Oh yeah, the tiers are.
That was our first preview of voting because we had people in our Fangens Facebook page
Mhm.
vote for the top 3
The tier
like,
names.
just quotes things that
So we have official fuckable bunnies. We have official
goose pimps,
goose pimps, and we have official
sad bitches,
sad bitches.
Yeah.
Not in that order. It
Nope.
goes sad bitches,
fuckable bunny.
fuckable bunnies, and then goose
We just
pimps.
went 1, 2, 3 how
Yeah.
they were voted on the thing, correct?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because sad bitches was first, then fuckable bunnies, then goose pimps was
Yep.
third. So we just went right
Yep,
down
1, 2,
the line.
3. There it is.
Yep.
That's our logic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that on Patreon.
Yay! Come hang out with
Yeah.
us. That is really exciting. I can't freaking wait. I just can't
Mhm.
wait to like have little. Honestly, I miss doing the lives. Those feel like
Mhm.
such a fun little like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. It's the most like adrenaline serotonin rush when
Yep.
we do that and we start seeing things pop up and
Well,
people are
because,
asking questions. It
Like
just
we
feels
see
like
people, but it's like not in real time.
Yeah.
It's like you just see it when you see it, and
Yeah.
so when you're like
actively
interacting with people in the moment, it's like super exciting.
so fun.
Yeah.
I just love it. And then we'll see people start talking to each other in the chat. And that's my favorite because
The
I'm just like,
cutest.
you guys are adorable and I love you.
So
What's new? What's new?
yeah, what's up?
I
What's
don't.
up with you? What's up with you, baby? How you doing?
I'll be honest with you. Not a lot. I am losing my hair.
Yeah.
So that's been.
Well, we just talked about how apparently so am I.
Well, I just think maybe you have layers and I'm not used to seeing them straight.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
Shody is coming out.
Yeah.
They're
Little bit
leaving
of
the party early.
Postpartum hair loss.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
my butt crack is really getting a lot in the shower.
Oh, the hair's getting stuck.
Oh my God.
I thought you were talking about your butt hair growing, and I was like,
No, I'm losing that too. No,
I'm
I
shedding
have to
everywhere.
before I shut the water off, I have to
Right.
do a quick swipe up my crack and it'll be like a ball of hair that big
What?
from my head,
It
obviously.
never happens when I.
It doesn't
bathe.
collect. Oh, because you take baths. Yeah, when I shower, that shit, like, it like funnels perfectly. I imagine that my back from my shoulders is just a perfect funnel and then it goes just into my crevice, my crevasse.
Yeah.
And then the hair just like sets up camp.
Like a dam.
Yeah. And it's
blocks it up.
It's like, we're not fucking going to the bottom of the shower, baby. We're setting up camp here.
Yeah.
We're overnighting. We're telling stories. Ghost stories. Do you see what I'm saying
I
here?
do.
A lot of camping. I haven't
was
gone
gonna say-
camping.
I was gonna say, would I have a campfire?
What do people? You would definitely have a campfire in the front, in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's more like the campfire went out.
Yeah.
It's just ash. It's smoke.
Yeah.
Smoldering.
Is it gray?
Yeah. My hair on my head.
Oh my god, I thought we were still talking about your pubes, and I'm like, you have gray pubes? Talk to me about this.
Not
Does that
yet.
happen?
I think. I've heard.
Do pubes get gray?
I think so.
Will mine go white then? Because my hair won't gray, it'll go white.
I think at that point, because I've heard from the older ladies that once you hit like menopause and things like that where it would start going gray and stuff, you just like stop growing it. It doesn't grow as fast. Now for people like me who grow a lot, I assume it will just be a little bit.
I'm just picturing an
Has
old
yours
woman
slowed
with like a
down?
bald crotch. I don't want to be
that's what it
picturing
is. Basically, I think.
Did you ask me if it stalled out?
Yeah, has yours like not grown? Does yours still grow at a rapid pace?
Yes.
Like it
Hello,
did with
Jimmy
puberty?
Neutron.
Well,
Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
It
But I've also
doesn't?
I've gotten it waxed a lot, and I know that can like mess with your hair follicles, so it grows slower. Mine used to be like I would shave completely everywhere on all of my.
Yeah. Did you ever shave your arms?
Yes. No, I never shaved. I did wax.
Oh, okay.
I waxed my arms. When I was in school, when I was in
Just for shits and gigs. You're like, put
Yeah.
that on my arm.
like I went to
Yeah.
school for aesthetics, and everybody would be like, "What can I wax?" And I'm like, "I'm hairy as fuck. Like, pick a spot,
Yeah.
and you just make sure you get it all." Because, but yeah, so I think because I did that so many times, I damaged the hair follicles, and it doesn't grow. It grows in patches. Call me
does?
Patches.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Patches. Oh, hula puss.
Ew.
You know.
Oh, whole
But also on my. You should see my legs. You would be proud. Do you see
Are they
that on
hairy?
my ankle?
Look at my arm.
Bruh. I can't even tell. You're
Oh.
disgusting. I hate you.
Oh.
It
Never
looks like
mind.
nothing, and they're probably like curly. That pisses me off.
No,
'cause
they're
I
not
shaved-
curly. They're just little spikies right now.
Oh,
but I
'cause I
definitely
shaved
do have
last
like
night.
deodorant balls in my
I see.
crevices.
I see.
So that's embarrassing for me. Anyway.
Listen, as someone who's again kind of like an olive
Skin
tone, when I get dark in the summer.
Yeah.
And then my pits will just stay white because I'm not out there like friggin' sunning them.
Pits to the wind.
Yeah. And so then I'll like lift my arm up and I feel so embarrassed that it's just like dark, and then like shing. It's
Well, I
white.
always like could tell who used a tanning bed and who didn't
because that little
well,
on
they'd
the back of their knees.
on the back of the knees and
Butt
right under
cheeks.
the butt cheeks.
I used to lift mine up in the tanning bed. You got to lift and spread because I'll tell you why. If you don't spread them apart, you get a tan line in your butt crack too.
Well, first of all, don't go in tanning beds.
Yeah, don't. But if you do spread your cheeks, really get that UV light straight into your hole.
Yeah.
So
Directly into your body.
that's where I like my vitamin D.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no.
Do ya?
No.
Do you? Wow. That's a lot.
So anyways, my mom listened last week.
And
She said that she was okay with us telling
the
she
poop
laughed.
story?
She goes, "So I listened to your podcast," and I go, "Oh no!" And she goes, "No, I thought it was really funny." She goes, "I poop my pants all the time. You can tell anybody." She's like, "We all do it," and I'm like, "Now I know why I am the way that I
Seriously?
am."
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Grow up.
Yeah, grow up. We all shit our pants sometimes. We've all shit into a bag every now and then.
We have.
Like, what are you gonna do about
A
it?
stone's throw away over in that closet I have.
You're gonna pretend that you don't so that you can impress other people for what? People
For
suck.
who? We're all pooping.
Yeah, we're all pooping.
Okay. I
Okay.
have something to ask you. I just remembered that I wrote this down in my phone. It came to me.
In a dream.
Okay, you know what's fun
Yes.
is I don't know if it's my medication or just the fact that like I don't think we've announced this
is
on the
fun
podcast.
already. What?
Shane works from home now. He now works
So excited.
with us.
Yeah.
So, my days look very different.
Mhm.
His days look very different. And the amount of stress that I was carrying and as overwhelmed as I was with my workload, like it's seemingly my life is totally different now.
Yep.
Having another set of
Hands.
adult hands in the house to help me with everything.
Yeah.
And being able to have designated work time where before I didn't. And like we have time together. Anyway, I'm rambling. But my brain is now like I'm able to think about weird things again. Just like allowing it to drift. It's not like overwhelmed with like tasks. And it is off season for me. But like, so, okay. Oh,
I can't wait
this
till
is
I get
titled
back
Alien
to that.
in my notes. Oh, it's because
It's about aliens.
no.
Okay.
But I think
Wait,
this is how
hold on
I
real
got
quick.
on this topic.
I was just going to say, you reminded me of aliens. I have to say this right now, or I'm going to forget.
Okay.
I know that Mel Gibson was in Signs.
Was it Mel Gibson?
It was Mel Gibson. I said Charlie Sheen because here's what happens with an ADHD brain, you guys. I'm going to let you in on a secret. In my brain, it goes so much faster than my mouth goes.
Yep.
So in my brain, I thought Signs, and then I thought, oh my God, I loved that scary movie that made fun of Signs. Oh my God, Charlie Sheen was in that movie.
Yep.
I connected Signs with Charlie Sheen, and before I could get it like out that what I really meant to say, we had already moved on to the next thing.
Do you know that happened to me as well with the Elon Musk Ratatouille thing?
Really?
So we were talking about Elon Musk.
Yes.
You said that Corey liked Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I went to Corey also listens to Joe Rogan. And then that's how I got to the Joe Rogan Ratatouille thing. It had nothing to do with Elon Musk.
I know.
So someone was like, I'm trying to find this Elon Musk explaining to Joe Rogan what Ratatouille is TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God, I never told anyone why I jumped there.
But I just wanted to specify that so that you guys could just get the ones of you that don't have ADHD. The small select few of you.
Yeah.
That's what happens in our brains.
Yeah.
It is way too fast all the time for my mouth to catch up. And then I assume you know what I'm thinking.
What connections I made?
Yeah, so I'm just like moving right along.
Yep. We're all on the same page. Great.
Great. Okay.
Meanwhile, we're not even in the same book.
No. And everyone's like, what the fuck is she saying?
So Ollie,
aliens.
Okay, so Ollie was sitting on his bed. I wish I would have taken better notes than this. But Ollie said that Britta was in the room. And I was like, what?
The filter?
Who's Britta? And he said, an alien. And he said, I'm a Britta.
Oh my God.
And I was like, excuse me? It was so fucking bizarre that he was just like, I'm a Britta. Brittas are aliens. I'm not from here. And I'm like,
whoa. We are
something
not
I
the
hoped-
same. I am a Martian.
Like, I really would rather you never say that. And so I'm
going to need you to really, if you just sit down cross-legged, I'm going to need you to fucking explain this to me.
I did that. And then he just like fucking moved on. And I'm
Toddlers. They're like ADHD all the time.
Yes.
It's like, no, wait, come back to that fucking alien thing.
So I think my mind started to wander at that moment where I was like trying to piece this shit together. And I thought about this and I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
If time isn't linear,
does
it make you feel better or worse that everything you're worried about already has an ending?
Okay. Ooh, that's good. I'll explain to you in a moment because my brain is really taking off in several different directions.
Okay.
And I have to so I kind of had an experience like that with the Moment House thing.
Okay.
Because I was so nervous I wanted to puke.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not good. I'm not somebody, like, I don't do well in front of crowds.
We're not performers.
No. Which is why it's so funny when people are like, oh my God, hundreds of thousands of people watch you. And I'm like, or listen to you.
Or they call it like a show. And I'm like, a show? That implies that we
are putting on it. Yeah. Like putting on a show.
Yeah.
Which is not what I just assume. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm beating the shit out of my mic again. I just assume we're just like chit chatting. And then I remember like people are fucking watching our conversation. So
because we let them.
Because no, you're not intruding. I
no, we want you
to
here.
Be here.
Yeah.
But also I don't like to see that you're here because I get nervous.
Yeah.
So I thought that I was gonna freaking like clam up and be super awkward and weird like I am. Like I was in the beginning of the podcast, because when I listen to those episodes, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Sierra? Anyways. So in my head, before everybody was like, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Are you excited? What's going on? And I was like, honestly, I feel nothing. And they're like, what? And I'm like, whatever happens is going to happen. It's already like written how it's going to be. If it sucks, it was meant to suck. Like, there's nothing at this point
this train is taken off. I can't stop.
There's nothing I can do at this point. The only thing that I can do is have a good time while it's lasting. And that is literally what I did. And it was the best fucking time ever.
Yeah.
But I told Jerry when we were doing it, like, you guys are so fucking wonderful, though, that I'm sure even if we would have sucked ass, you would have been like, that's okay, guys. You did your best.
You tried.
And I was like, I can't even be nervous because I just know you guys will be so fucking nice either way.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful show. I'm so glad that we did it. And we had a fucking blast. And that is all I wanted. I didn't want to overthink things. And that mindset helped me, like.
Do you think that's what the mindset you're in is like?
Whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
I can't control it at this point.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
That sounds like a coping mechanism.
Well, it is, because that actually is kind of when I used to be like real heavy with depression, like it was bad. I used to tell people the only positive that I have is that my anxiety is pretty much gone, because instead of worrying about everything, I don't care about anything. And at this point, I'm just like, what's the worst that could happen? I die. Oh well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I just wasn't
Have
afraid.
fun with my school loans.
I wasn't afraid. I didn't have any thoughts or fears or anything. I was like, fuck it. Basically.
Yeah.
And like, as sad as that was, it was also kind of nice.
And super freeing.
Because I have anxiety. So like most of the time I'm worrying about everything. And for that small amount of time, I was like, this is really nice that I'm not worrying about anything. So yeah, I just think
it makes you feel better.
It does.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
What about you? No.
I think if you would have asked me at a different time of my life, I would have had a different answer.
Me too.
I would have said it made me feel worse because it felt like I had no control.
That's what I was going to say.
But now I like that idea. But also,
I kind of think like our life with the way that it's going is out of control, because neither one of us planned this and never would have expected it.
At this point, I'm just like taking it as it comes.
It kind of feels like like a train was driving by and we're like, do you want to hop on this? And then we just did, and we're like, do you know where it's going?
Nope.
Me neither. Well, let's just fucking go.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that.
Well, I have another kind of tangent off of that, but I want to save it for the Glitch in the Matrix exclusive that we're going to record after this. So if you guys want to hear that tangent,
go on.
You know where to find it.
The Patreon.
So, but yeah.
Oh, wait, real quick. Should we tell them, like, is it going to be the first one of the month that the $5 one will get? I just want to make that known. So if people are like, which one am I going to get? It'll always be the first one that we release of the month.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Speaking of that a little bit.
Speaking of time not being linear,
just like feelings.
Okay.
Do you want to tell them what we're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about hierarchy of needs.
The hierarchy of needs. And if you, much like me before you told me, don't know what this is about, we're going to tell you, because
I told you about it?
You're the one that told me about it. And I'll tell you, I got emotional several times.
You did?
Yes, because when you told me about it, it was like the most validating thing in the entire world.
Oh, wow. Good for me.
Yeah, it made me very emotional too, because, well,
I knew that I had talked to you about it, but I didn't know that that was your first experience with it.
I had never heard of it before
There's so many things that like were a part of my curriculum whenever I was in college and when I was going to get my degree, that I think is somewhat common knowledge. Right. And I think it's because people don't think it's hard to become a teacher. Yeah. Like, people don't look at teaching or being an educator as like
a tough job.
Yeah, which something. Yeah, and like I know, I can say with certainty that getting my degree was a lot easier than getting like a doctorate. Like, I know that.
Right.
But I didn't realize how much of
you need to know, like,
about human development and like how the mind works and like how important everything is to tie together and how like a student's like outside life is going to affect their life when they're in the
Yes,
classroom, and
yes.
how you can best facilitate a growth mindset and a healthy learning environment, and like all of that ties together. But because people look at educators as not
Or you make
special,
a planning list and then you get summers off.
Yes.
Lucky fucking you.
yes,
Yeah.
I looked down on myself, and
Yes.
I kind of minimized my intelligence and my knowledge base,
Yeah.
and didn't
It's a lot.
think anything of it.
It's not just like teaching one single subject. It is literally you're having to think of how these students have to learn and how can I
Mhm.
best help
Mhm.
them like understand and
Yep.
take in this information.
Right.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
I do it with you guys. I'm just kidding. But honestly, when I think of these things and I try to think of like the best way that I can explain something that I mean, it's someone else's research, but
Yep.
let me go. We'll start off with a little Wikipedia, just like a simple.
Okay.
Who is this Maslow guy? Maslow?
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't know.
I think it's Maslow's hierarchy of need.
Abraham Maslow.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So, he was an American psychologist, and in his 1943 paper, A Theory of Human Motivation, that he wrote in the journal Psychological Review, he brought up this idea of the hierarchy of needs.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what it is a pyramid.
Yep.
And he states that individuals must satisfy lower level deficit needs before progressing on to meet higher level growth needs. So there's like two separate kinds. They're called, hold on. They're called, the first four levels are deficiency needs, D needs,
Mm-hmm.
and then the top level is known as growth or being needs, which is B needs. So the levels go like this. Physiological on the bottom. So that is biological requirements for human survival, air, food, shelter,
Yeah.
drink, clothing, warmth.
We call
sleep.
that your basic human needs.
Yes. And if these needs are not satisfied, the body can't function correctly
Right.
at all. So these are the most important needs that need to be met. If these needs aren't met, you cannot think about other things. So
Right.
like if you are starving,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be focusing on really anything
Right.
else. Except later on, he said that you could go in between like the top and the bottom sometimes. So like the second one is safety.
Mm-hmm.
So the need for security, the need to feel like you're in control of your life, that you have predictability, that you have stability, these needs can be fulfilled by like your family,
Your
your
partner.
yes, your society, like the police, schools, businesses, medical care,
Yep.
things like that. If that isn't fulfilled, it's hard to get up to the next one, which is love and belongingness needs.
Mm-hmm.
After those two have been met, you can focus on your feelings of love and belonging with family, friends, partners. This includes intimacy, trust, acceptance, receiving and giving affection and love. Then once you cover that, you move up to esteem needs. This includes self-worth, self-esteem, respect, love for yourself, but it also includes the desire for reputation and respect from others. So like your prestige, your status.
Yep.
And then once you've developed, like you're good there,
Mm-hmm.
you reach the top one, which is self-actualization needs. So this is the highest level. It refers to the realization of a person's potential, self-fulfillment. You seek personal growth and peak experiences. So this level is the desire to accomplish everything that you can and become the most that you can be.
Right.
He says it's very rare
Yeah.
for people to get to that top
Yep.
and like whatever.
Well, I think too, it's important to know that you don't ever stay in one of them.
Well, and so what I wanted to say was why it was so important to me when you said it. I don't know if you remember this, but it was
were
when
we down here before we redid the basement
it
when we
was.
had our conversation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you were talking to me and I was saying, I feel lost.
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm doing. I felt like I was having a hard time. It was in the beginning of me and Corey's relationship and things like that. And you were saying that I was stuck at the second level.
Yep.
I was stuck at safety needs. My security, my stability, I was fearful all the time being in an abusive relationship. I was always scared. So because of that, I couldn't move up to loving myself, having
accepting love from someone else,
having good self-esteem,
mm-hmm.
Choosing what I wanted as the path in my life, because I wasn't even focused on that. At that point, I was focusing on surviving.
Yes.
And those two bottom ones, that's why I hate that I can't give somebody what they need if they hear this, but I hope you at least get validation from this.
Yeah.
That
because someone needs to hear this.
Yes, that the reason why if you're trying so hard to love yourself, to respect yourself, to get that from others or whatever,
or to accomplish goals, and you are struggling.
Yeah, it could be because you are stuck at these bottom two levels, and like that's not your fault,
right?
Until you get those things worked out, it's going to be very hard for you to get up the other levels.
And especially if you don't know that this exists.
Yeah. Because that was the thing with me. I was like, why the fuck can't I move along? Because I was stuck.
You feel broken.
Yes.
I think that this is another thing to use as an assessment tool for yourself and say, like, just pull it up, Google Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And look at the different levels. And the bottom of the pyramid is, are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating? Are you...
Well, so that was the other thing that I was going to say.
Do you have a stable home?
I didn't realize also until like recently that you could go back and forth. Yep. So I was feeling so good before I got pregnant. And being pregnant and having a child was my choice. I understand that. I love it. I love her so much. But being postpartum, I am not eating the way that I should. I'm not sleeping.
Right.
And because of that, I'm back at the very bottom again. I can't think about the other parts because I am focusing on, oh my God, I can't sleep. Oh my God, I haven't eaten. I've eaten once yesterday, or I didn't drink enough water, and I know that I'm lucky because I'm luckier
do have
than
access to those things.
Yes, but I'm not getting them.
Right.
Because it's very difficult. The sleeping is the hardest one. When you're not sleeping, it's difficult to function, let alone. So that's important to remember as well.
Yeah, because I want people to hear this and see this and look at the chart and realize that, like, you could be giving yourself a hard time about something,
which I was,
which
I am still,
can't control. And it's just biological.
Yeah.
And like it's something
and
that
we all go through it.
Forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like if I think about it now.
Until I took my psychology class. Remember I was, we Marco Polo'd and I was like, hey, guess what I'm learning about? Remember when you told me about this? I'm learning about it now.
Well, but I don't even think about it like when I'm experiencing it.
I didn't either until I was just researching this, that like, oh my God, it clicked for me. That is why I'm feeling these things and like not wanting to reach those other goals. I'm not even thinking about them. And it made me a little sad because I feel like I'm losing myself a little bit. But it's because right now I'm focusing on basic survival. Like getting to the next day is my goal. My goal is not like, how can I make myself better in the future or progress in my life, my career, my relationship. It is, how do I get to tomorrow?
Right.
Because I want today to end, basically.
What's level 2?
Level 2 is safety.
Okay. So I
Safety
think
and security.
Okay.
And stability. But I think that's another thing that we have to remember is when your world gets rocked by, because this was also something that we talked about in my child psychology class. It is very difficult for children, and this is someone who was like me, who I moved a lot, but also military children, people that move around a lot, that something as small as that we think, I'm just moving to a different home, but that's their security, that's their stability, that's a routine.
Even if they're not moving and it's a military family, having someone deployed or having the idea of having someone leave unexpectedly, already your security is threatened.
Yep.
It doesn't have to mean you're in danger, But if there is a threat of a potential danger, you could still be experiencing distress from it, and you could still be experiencing a block from being able to move on to the loving yourself, accepting love from others, self-worth, self-actualization, things like that.
And if this is happening to you as a child, then you're already set back from the rest of your peers. You're already a step behind because they're moving on to the next levels. They're learning to accept themselves, to accept love from others, to, you know, and you're stuck back at level 1, level 2, and it's difficult.
Right.
And I want to acknowledge that because I think it's important.
Well, I was going to say too that
go ahead.
So we mentioned earlier that Shane is now working with us, and the way that we have our day set up is that Shane has the opportunity to work, whether it be for the behind the scenes podcast stuff or on his business in the morning. And then at lunchtime, we put the boys down for a nap, and then I go to work from lunchtime to dinner time, and then he's with the kids. But before, we didn't have that. It was me all day from 7 to 5. Yeah. And then Shane would get home, and he
would normally like cook though too, so you're still having to do.
He would make dinner, and then he would help me with the kids if they needed a bath and, you know, to go to bed. And then after that, he would either go out and work in the wood shop and try and keep moving his business along, or he would do, podcast things. And then after that, he would clean the house for me so that I had a clean house when I woke up the next morning, because he knew that it was like chaos all day. Yes. Because when he wasn't here, I was still having to do all the podcast stuff and all my photography stuff when they slept, if they slept, and then at night whenever they went to bed.
So you're missing out on sleep.
Yes. And so like he wasn't going to bed until 2 a.m. I was struggling to go to sleep, and then we spent 0 time together. So like we didn't have stability. We did not have a functional schedule. We didn't have help. And now that he's home and we have this new schedule, like I feel so privileged because I have seen us move from that instability, that stress, not having our basic needs met, to now being able to pursue our passions and really focus on what we want to do and feel accomplished in them. And I was sitting at my desk, which is, you guys can't see it, but it's right there. And Shane has, he just got a 3D printer.
Oh, is that in there?
Yes.
I want to check that.
He just, Noah would really like it.
I know.
So he was in there trying to set it up, and he was getting so excited because he loves Legos. He's like, he loves watching makers. If you guys know what that is, they're like people who have 3D printers, people who have CNC machines, they're not just like one, like a woodworker, an engineer. They like kind of morph all of it together.
Okay.
So he is getting into that, and I have not seen him this happy in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And like, I looked at him and I was just like wanting to cry.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" And I said, "Of all the things that I've done, I feel successful finally seeing you smile.
Yes.
You being happy, you having time to do what you want to do, you being a present dad, you asking to take me on a date, like us having the opportunity to do those things makes me feel successful. It wasn't anything like I have always wondered like why I thought it was imposter syndrome, why I wasn't feeling that overwhelming rush, and it's because I couldn't feel accomplished because
you were stuck.
Yes.
Yeah, literally. That's exactly. It's so tough too when you're doing everything you can to try to, and you're like, why aren't I that's how I felt recently. I told you that. I'm like, am I depressed? What's happening? Am I burnt out? Why am I not feeling this excitement? Why am I not feeling this want to do more, to be like, to make our goals, you know, go my goals.
Pursue.
Yeah. And the reason why is just because I'm stuck living in level 1. I'm not getting my basic needs met, and my stability is friggin' rocked.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And something that can be something we do to, like, I wanted to have a baby. That was something I wanted to have. So now I feel like, what have I done to myself? This was what you want. But I will get there eventually.
Yeah, but you know about this, and you know,
and it's
like,
helpful to know that it's going to come back.
Yes.
That all I have to do is get past this little
it's just a
bump in the road.
Just a little cyclical cycle of cycles.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
There's a little section here that says, how do people progress through the hierarchy of needs?
Okay.
So Maslow postulated. That's the word that we don't use enough.
Put that on your calendar of the day.
Yes. That there were several prerequisites to meeting these needs. For example, having freedom of speech and freedom of expression or living in a just and fair society aren't specifically mentioned within the hierarchy of needs, but Maslow believed that having these things makes it easier for people to achieve their needs.
Right.
In addition to these needs, he also believed that we have a need to learn new information and to better understand the world around us. Mm-hmm. This is partially because learning more about our environment helps us meet our other needs. For example, learning more about the world can help us feel safer, and developing a better understanding of a topic one is passionate about can contribute to self-actualization.
Yep.
However, Maslow also believed that this call to understand the world around us is an innate need as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like a biological need of understanding.
Yes. Well, and that kind of goes back to what we talked about in relational poverty, about how you can, your brain is always assessing the world for danger. Yeah. And so, like, the more you know, you are creating your worldview, and that is what keeps you safe. Yes. And so the more you understand, the more you feel safe, because you know what threats are present or aren't present.
Yes.
So
I'm going to bring up something that I haven't talked about a lot, but I've mentioned earlier, I mean 3 years ago, we started how much I loved true crime.
Yep.
Now recently I've realized that there's a bit in the true crime community that makes me feel a little icky. Mm-hmm. Because I can see where it gets problematic in, like, people really idolizing serial killers almost to in the true crime community. It can definitely get sometimes, you know, but and I know that that's a thing that people have brought up. They've brought it up to us, like, I don't like this about true crime. These people are real people. Think about their families. Like, these are actual victims.
Which is why those of you who are asking us for true crime episodes, we're in a weird spot with it.
Yes,
we're trying to figure it out.
It's honestly, it's such a back and forth in my head, because the entire reason that I felt that I was so into true crime, I guess, it started when I was watching I Survived, and I was in love with that show when I was in an abusive relationship, and I told myself all the time that, like, oh, it's just because I'm a true crime gal and I love this. But truly, to the core of me, I think it was because I was watching these women, these survivors of a lot of times domestic situations, because unfortunately and it's a joke in the true crime community, like, look at the husband, it's always the husband, blah, blah, blah. But, like, sadly, that is a big
statistic.
Yeah, statistically, they're usually domestic violence situations if we're looking at crime stories. And I think
we're not saying that men can't be victims of domestic violence.
Right. I'm just
We're
saying.
Just saying.
Yeah. Statistically, it happens to women more, and a lot of times it's because it's their partners.
Yes.
But I think for me, that was almost like the more I take in, I was feeling like safer. Almost.
More prepared.
Yes. Just like, and especially listening to stories like I Survived, it was like, look at these women, they did it. They survived.
Inspiration.
The most horrible thing that can happen to a human. Literally. And they came out of it, and they're living.
Right.
It didn't stop them. Mm-hmm. It didn't crush them. Like, they are smiling at some points. They have hope. They're going out and, like, living normal lives.
Right.
Normal, but, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think that to me was like where my, I don't want to call it an obsession, but where my, like, fascination with that came from. I think it came from a need to understand, a need to learn as much as I could about that. Okay, so then this next part says, although Maslow am I saying his name
Yeah,
correctly?
yeah.
Presented his
I
needs.
mean, that's how it was said to me in college, was
Yeah,
Maslow's
yeah.
hierarchy of need.
So although he presented his needs in a hierarchy, he also acknowledged that meeting each need is not an all or nothing phenomenon. Consequently, people don't need to completely satisfy one need in order for the next need in the hierarchy to emerge. So I said you can kind of bounce between. Right. He suggested that at any given time, most people tend to have each of their needs partly met, and that needs lower on the hierarchy. Jesus, sorry, that was so hard for me to read. And that needs lower on the hierarchy are typically the ones that people have made the most progress towards. So like you could get 5 out of 6 on the bottom and then start to move up. So you know what I mean?
Well, that's why I feel like I obviously was sleeping. Was it enough? Probably not.
Right.
I was eating. Was it good enough? Probably not.
But it was manageable.
But I feel like I had my needs met
good enough
to an extent, and I think that that's why I was able to pursue my careers and do what I wanted to do and manage all of it. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
I couldn't feel good about myself.
Yeah,
I wasn't happy. My relationship with my husband was probably the worst it's ever been. And now for us, that's not like terrible, but like we just weren't making time for one another. Right. And we were just so exhausted that it was hard to be present. Like yesterday, he sat on the floor. There's a couch. I don't know why he sat on the floor, but he sat on the floor.
I do that all the time.
And I was sitting on the chair and we just talked.
I love that.
For an hour.
Me and Corey have been doing that recently.
Times. Yeah. And
it's
like
super nice.
It reminded me of when we fell in love.
Yes.
Like, and Shane stepped into a role that he thought he had to do. And he did to an extent. In order for me to pursue photography, to get out of teaching, because like I said in the Why I Left Teaching episode, I was dying there.
Yeah.
It was not healthy for me to be in that position. Again, I wasn't fulfilled.
I think there was a bit of your security there.
Oh,
that is terrifying.
Unstable, for sure.
Yes.
So he took this job that was providing us with insurance, was paying our bills, was allowing me to pursue something that was more of a creative path, that was less consistent money-wise and more insecure,
but hopefully
and unstable.
Could get you to that self-actualization.
Yes. But watching him lose himself.
Yep. To provide that for you.
Yes. Hurt.
Yeah.
And it was devastating to me because he would say like, it doesn't matter. My stuff doesn't matter.
But it does.
And I'm like, I don't think you understand how much it matters to me.
Yeah.
That your things matter.
Yeah.
And
I want you to feel that spark again. I want you to get that hope.
Because that's who I love. That's who I fell in love with.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the person who was quirky and liked technology and build Legos and liked Lord of the Rings, and like this guy who was passionate and excited and just full of knowledge and wanting to create all the time and had 1,000 ideas. That's who I fell in love with.
Yes.
I didn't fall in love with an accountant. And not that I wouldn't love you as that. I love you in all your forms.
But I want to love you when you
love
yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's, you just want somebody to be happy, to be the best, want to be the best version of themselves. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that when you're stuck doing something you hate. I mean, that's how...
When we're trying to get these other needs met.
I asked Corey that.
It wasn't that he wanted to do that. It's
exactly.
That we couldn't help it.
You had to.
Yep.
I asked Corey that. Actually, we just had that conversation because we were discussing... He was like, what's your podcast topic? And I'm like, oh, you'll never know because you never listen. But I was saying this and we talked about it a little bit. And I was like, how did you love me?
Yeah.
Because we were discussing like the self-esteem part. And I was like, I know my self-esteem was wrecked when you and I first got together. Like, how did you? And he's like, I don't think you were as bad as you thought you were. And I was like, oh, I hid it really well.
Yep.
But it was bad. You don't understand how bad it was.
Yep.
But it was bad. And he's like, yeah, I couldn't really. I mean, I knew that you were depressed more. And I was like, bingo, there it is. Yes. He's like, it was hard because you wouldn't get out of bed sometimes. But that didn't I just loved that. I just loved you. And I was like, that's really sweet. So it's really nice to know that the version of me that he fell in love with was like the worst version. Because it's kind of like any version above that is like, wow, what a treat.
Yeah.
So like now that's the thing. I think right now I'm in the thick of it, and it's tough again, but this is the version of me that he loves. So like,
but at the same time, you are not the same.
What do you mean?
You are nowhere near the person when you and Corey first got together.
No, not at all. Even that's the thing too. I think I prepared myself so well that even when I'm in the thick of it now, I'm not drowning in it.
Right. You've been able to acquire
stay
tools
above water a little bit. Yeah. And it didn't last as long as I thought it would. Like now she's sleeping. She goes 6-7 hours, sometimes 8-hour stretches at a time. And like, I don't even sleep that whole time, but fucking A, it's not 2-hour stretches. So like, I will take it. Like tonight I was just thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go home. He'll already have her in bed and I can take a bath. I can take a bath. Like I can
love a bath.
Oh, I love a bath. I can lay in the tub and just not have any noises and just sit and read or whatever I want to do in the tub. And that to me was like, but I couldn't, that goal 3 weeks ago,
not option.
Fucking happening. No. It was still like, you might sleep tonight or we don't know. So it's a tough way to live.
And I also think it's important to know that like your stability and security that like is threatened now because you have a newborn and like her schedule, she's making her own schedule.
She makes she makes the rules. She's the fucking queen of the house.
It's much different than the stability and security that was threatened.
Yes.
Years ago.
Because that was like, truly, am I going to survive?
Yes.
Like, when is the next time that this is going to get scary?
Right.
Because it was walking on eggshells constantly because it was like, eventually this fairy tale, this little happy spin that we're putting on, the mask is going to come off.
Right.
And when's it going to happen?
Right. And I think that that's maybe important for someone to hear is like, yes, we wouldn't ever want to compare situations with people. Like, struggle is not a competition.
No.
But if you find that it might be more difficult for you to move from one level to another, it may be because the type of security or instability you're experiencing is more of a threat to your well-being than others.
Because my security to where like right now my stability's my schedule's a little off, right? But I still know that my bills are paid. I still know that I have a house at the end of the day. Back 4 or 5 years ago, that was not the case.
No.
At any moment my bills were getting shut off like a lot.
Yeah.
Like anytime I hear, still to this day when I hear a knock on the door, my heart like drops into my ass because I'm like, what bill's getting shut off?
Yep.
So that's what they would do. They would come in the morning, knock on it like twice and then go shut my electric off.
Yep.
Or I was like, I'm one paycheck away from not having home anymore for my son and me. Or things like that. So it was very much like, not only is my safety not being met, but like my stability in my home, everything is pretty much at the brink of like, will it, won't it? Like, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
And now it's like, I just maybe don't have sleep, but the rest of it is getting met at this point. So,
and you know that there's an end. Like before, that instability was like,
is this my life now?
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like. Like, this is my life. This is how I'm gonna live forever. So make the best of it because this is how we're navigating. Additionally, Maslow pointed out that one behavior might meet 2 or more needs. For example, sharing a meal with someone meets the physiological need for food, but it might also meet the need of belonging. Similarly, working as a paid caregiver would provide someone with income, which allows them to pay for food and shelter, but can also provide them a sense of social connection and fulfillment.
Yep.
I'm going to say right fucking now, this podcast is ticking all my boxes, man.
Oh, for sure.
It is social connection, whether you guys know it or not. I mean, obviously with you, but like I feel like with the community that we've created, incredible. It obviously is good for security and like those kinds of things. But my self-esteem is better. Like everything it is hitting all of those things, and I cannot like I'm more grateful for this for that reason than anything else in the world.
When you said that it isn't likely for people to get to like self-actualization.
Yeah.
I felt like, oh shit, am I not there?
I know,
Because
but I feel
like I'm there.
I feel like I'm close.
Mm-hmm. And it's because like I feel so. There's been very few things in my life that I could see myself doing.
Yeah,
forever.
me too.
And like,
Me too.
I'll say now that like, I think it's. Oh God, so sorry.
You're doing it too.
I
We are
feel-
just fucking.
I feel like it's so unrealistic to expect someone at 18 to want to
be
do
the
the
same
same
person.
thing at 25 and at 30 and
Agreed.
at 40 and at 60.
Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not at all the same person I was when I was 20.
No, we're so
If
different.
I would have picked a long-term goal then,
Yep.
first of all, it never would have been podcasting because I would have been so fucking afraid of you guys.
Yes.
Like, I would have never wanted to speak and have people. Can you imagine me being on camera at 20?
No.
I'd have been freaking so afraid.
No. You were at 25.
I know. I wouldn't. I
26.
couldn't.
How old were we when we started? 27?
Yeah. I didn't want
Yeah.
to be on camera. I was like,
Yep.
I don't want people to see me. They'll make fun of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was afraid that people were going to make fun of how I talked
Mhm.
and my laugh. And that's the thing you guys like.
Yeah.
That's so fucking nice. Thank
Well,
you.
That's what I'm saying is like, I had just come to this place where I'm like, I don't want to be a teacher, but I needed to be a teacher for X amount of years because I was contractually obligated to.
Yeah.
And then when I left and I was doing photography, I remember saying to Shane, like, I love photography, but it's not forever.
It can't be a long-term thing.
It's not going to be a long-term thing. I know that. It's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And I had just come to the realization that I'm going to have to find something else to do. I'm going to
Mhm.
have to find what else I like.
and it's going to be like, is it going to be something you love or is it going to be a part-time like?
Yep. Do I need to go back to school? Am I
Yep.
going to need to just like suck it up and go teach again? Like what's going to happen? Don't know. And now I feel settled.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a place where I feel
too.
fulfilled because I see you guys and I read your messages and I read your comments and
That was our goal
I feel
ever
yeah.
in life. Like,
I feel connected. I feel like I'm doing good.
yes.
All I wanted to do is what Mr. Feeney said.
Do
and it was
good.
to do good.
Not do well. No. Do good. And that's same. That's
Mhm.
I wanted to put goodness out into the world. I didn't know how it was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't know in what form,
Mhm.
but I was like helping people. That
Yeah.
is what I want to do.
I want to make people feel seen.
I want to make
valued.
people feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly.
Ow. But yeah, I feel like this is something I want to do for a long time, and it does tick so many of my boxes.
So many boxes.
Mhm.
Like belonging, self-esteem. My self-esteem, since we've been even just on camera, which is crazy because I was
Yeah.
pregnant for a lot of it. And let me tell you, that's a self-esteem killer.
Yeah.
If I ever saw one.
Yep.
But like, you guys are so nice and you always tell me I'm glowing and, you
Mhm.
know, it just makes me feel, it's very nice.
I have grown neutral with myself.
Yeah,
I'm not
I think I
looking at-
am too.
Yeah, I'm just accepting that I exist
Me
and
too.
that it's enough.
Yeah. The amount of, my sister says this all the time. She's like, Sierra, the amount that you go out without doing anything to yourself is incredible. And I'm like, it feels great. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I go to appointments now.
But you couldn't do that if your other needs weren't met. You
No.
wouldn't be able to feel good about yourself
Nope.
and feel confident and like yourself and know
That
that
it
your
was
worth
enough.
isn't in your
My
appearance.
looks. If
If
my
your other needs weren't met.
that's exactly it. It's so funny too because like I got my nails done recently.
Yeah.
And it was like a 1 hour appointment.
I did my own nails.
They're so pretty.
They're not. They're chipping and they're gross because I keep picking at my toes. Don't you judge me.
Or fungus. No, just kidding.
Well, I get them like I don't do anything with my nails, and so
Yeah.
like my toenails get crooked
yeah,
somehow,
yeah.
and they'll snag on my sheets. I remember I told you guys
Yes.
I have like talons, and so I'll like try and I'm disgusting. I should get clippers, but I'll try and like just get it with my nail.
You just gnaw 'em off.
Not with
your
my
nails.
teeth.
Not with your teeth, but with
Yeah.
your nails.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Corey came home the other day and he's like, you're in a really good mood. And I was like, let me tell you, I talked to another human that wasn't a baby
Yes.
for an hour today. And honestly, that was like ticking 2 of my needs because my self-esteem, I felt good.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I feel pretty. But also, I got to talk to another human
Yep.
for an hour. And like, I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, we do this and it's lovely, but it's one day out of the week.
Yep.
we talk here and there what we can, but a
Yeah.
lot of it's business talk
Yep.
and like, doesn't
Well, our
get to
schedules don't always cross.
really truly.
Well, and I also like we used to talk more frequently before the baby.
Before her.
But I'm just trying to be really sensitive to the fact that like your sleep schedule is inconsistent and it's
Yeah.
all over the place, and I don't want to be
sleeping when she sleeps.
That's
like
what I'm
they
saying.
say.
I don't know when that is, and so I don't want to like
Me
blow up your
neither.
phone with shit, right?
Yeah.
And then like interrupt an opportunity for you to sleep.
But I'm telling you, it's looking like it's getting consistent and like
better fucking knock on wood.
yeah. But frigging that'll be a game changer.
Yeah.
Just if she sleeps, like just if she takes one nap out of the day that's consistent.
Yep.
Where I'm like, she's going down for her nap and I know it's gonna be at least an hour. Oh, it's gonna be so
little
nice.
victories. That's what we live
Oh
for.
my god! Or like when she gets like a bedtime that's somewhat consistent.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's what mommy likes.
Ooh, that's what mommy needs. Okay. Anyways, I don't know how much more I have. I mean, we can't just keep talking if you want,
no,
or
I
that
feel-
could be. I feel like we did. There's really not a lot. If you want to look more into it, there are some, like
Well,
little.
Yeah, I think the most important part is to know that it exists.
To know that it, and like I said, this isn't something that's going to be, like a quick fix, or like a hey, we're gonna tell you how to make yourself better.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, when I realized it, it was such a validating thing because at that time I was thinking, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
I am seeing everyone else I know reaching these goals, feeling good about themselves, feeling like they're on the right path, they're doing the right things. Why the fuck am I stuck here? And it was like, because this.
Yeah.
And such an easy thing. And knowing that it wasn't my fault
Right.
was the best. I mean, it was like a gift. It
Yeah.
really, truly was like, this isn't your fault. And it's not forever.
Right.
You can get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So
And Shane is going through that exact same thing right now, where like he left his job and is now here, and he went through a really rough patch. One, because we had COVID, but two, because he was like, who am I? What is my
Yes.
worth outside of being the
a
breadwinner?
corporate, like
Yeah, for the family, of being the dad who goes and wears
9
a
to
tie.
5.
Yeah, and does that stuff. Like, who am I if this is what my role is?
Yeah.
And
It's so nice, by the way. Let him know. I don't know if he watches or just
Mhm.
edits, but let him know. It's just every time I saw him for a long time, it was like suit and tie, and like he looks so himself.
Oh my God.
I forgot. Every time I see him, though, I just want to be like, I want to be like the proud mom that's like, good for you, because he just keeps
fucking
evolving
love that
more
man.
and more into like the version that I know that what he feels on the inside.
Mhm.
Every time I see him, I'm like, good for
Yep.
you.
Yeah. He's painting his nails. He's like, how do you feel about gauges? And I'm like, get him. He's
Fucking
like,
yeah.
nose ring. He's like,
Face
tattoos. I'm like, get it. Do it.
Get it
That-
on your knuckles. Hand tattoos.
Yes.
Who gives a shit?
That is who I fell in love with.
Yes.
I love you in all your forms, but I love you when you love you the most.
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh.
love that.
And I
Corey,
love
I'm
you
getting a
when-
face tattoo. No, I'm just kidding.
when you love you the most.
I know I'm gonna get there. I feel like I'm already. I
You're so
truly
much-
feel like I'm getting better. Can
Well,
you
and-
tell?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I can fucking tell.
Yeah.
Because like, and that was the hardest thing for me when you were in your abusive relationship, was
Ugh.
like, you lost it.
Oh, I hated
You
myself.
lost that
Well, I
person.
just didn't hate myself. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And no part of me could move past, like, where am I? What am I doing? It was
Mhm.
constantly like that was where I lived.
Yep.
And I needed to move.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I'm doing it again because,
And
You
we
know.
hope that for you guys too.
yes,
We hope that if this connected with you and this was something that you needed to hear,
it
or
doesn't have to
maybe-
be forever.
yeah, and maybe someone in your, like, if it doesn't totally resonate with you, like you feel like everything's kind of chill, awesome. We love that for you.
Yes.
Maybe there's someone in your life who is
And you can tell
struggling.
them
and
about
you-
it.
Yeah, you can let them know about
Because again,
this.
that was the best thing you did for me. Honestly,
Aw.
it was so validating. It was
Of all
just
the
like,
things I've done.
well, not. I mean, this was the best thing you did for me. But that was number 2.
Okay, well, I'll take it.
It was just really. It was super like, oh fuck,
Mhm.
like it's not me. Because I'm not kidding. For the longest time, I thought like, what is wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start, am I not smart enough? Am I not creative enough? Am I not what's the fucking type A enough? Like,
Yeah.
you know, am I not organized enough?
Mhm.
Why
Is it
can't
all my
I do
mental
it?
illnesses?
Yeah, like what is it
Mhm.
that's holding me back? And it's like
Mhm.
other people.
Yeah.
No, but you know,
Outside forces.
it was outside forces.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Well, that's that, guys, on Maslow's hierarchy of need.
I hope it was helpful
Yeah.
and validating.
Yes.
And I hope you come out of it feeling a little bit better about yourselves because you deserve it.
You do. And if you want to hang out with us some more, head over to Patreon.
Yes.
If I had the link, I would tell it to you. Look for it in the description.
And probably on our social medias.
Yes.
Yes.
We love you so much. We will see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.